Hi everyone, I'm Kavita, and in today's session we are going to understand the levels of organization in animals. Different levels of organization are cell, tissue, organ and organ system. Let's see the learning objective. So the learning objective of this session is to describe various levels of body organization of animals. By the end of this session, you will be familiarized with different levels of organization found in metazoans. Metazoans show different levels of organization. Now, what is this level of organization? You all know that living organisms, either plant or animal, are made up of cells. And we also know that a cell is a unit of structure. That means histology, function, physiology. So, it is a unit of structure as well as unit of function of both animals as well as of plants. And so here these cells are differentiated and then accompanied by a physiological division of labor. Now, depending upon the number and degree of complexity or specialization of cells present in an individual, we can divide animals into different levels or grades of organization. So that means not all the metazoans have similar type of complexity or specialization. They have different levels of complexities, and based on how complex the body is and how complex the function and structure of these structures are, we have different grades of organization or level of organization. And here in metazoans, since we are talking about multicellular animals, okay, there is a cellular grade of organization, tissue grade of organization, then tissue organ grade of organization, and organ system grade of organization. There is also another type of organization that's found in case of protozoa, and it is called protoplasmic grade of organization. Remember, in metazoans, these four types, because we are talking about multicellular organism. In addition to that, there is also a protoplasmic grade of organization. Now, let's see one by one. First, let's also include protoplasmic grade of organization in our discussion. Now, what is this protoplasmic grade of organization? As I said earlier, this type of organization is found in case of protozoans, nothing but in single-celled animals. So here, just recall, these single-cell organisms do not have any other special structures, but they are living. And we all know that there are different living processes like digestion, respiration, excretion, etc. Now, for an animal to live, all these processes are important. But since the individual has only one cell, so ultimately only that particular cell will have to carry out all these processes. Since all these processes take place within a cell by the specialized organelles that are present, this grade of organization is called as protoplasmic grade of organization. In other words, it is the protoplasm, it is the components of the protoplasm that carry out the basic physiological functions of an organism. Since such processes taking place in a protoplasm, this grade of organization is called protoplasmic grade of organization. For example, you see here there is a contractile vacuole. This is involved in osmoregulation. How does it respire? It takes oxygen in and releases the carbon dioxide out just by simple diffusion. Then how does the digestion takes place? How does nutrition occur? So here again, through the cell membrane, the things are taken in and waste materials are thrown out. Ingestion and egestion both takes place with the cell itself. Okay, since all these basic respiration, digestion, excretion, etc. take place within this particular cell, this is protoplasmic grade of organization. seen in protozoa, example in amoeba. Next one is cellular grade of organization. So this is the basic type of organization seen in case of metazoa, but in animal as a whole, it is the cellular and protoplasmic. Protoplasmic grade of organization is the first type in animals, whereas in metazoans, cellular grade of organization is the first type of organization you find in case of metazoans. I am repeating it. Now, what is the cellular grade of organization? So, here body consists of many cells, okay, and these cells are almost similar in their appearance, and but there is a difference is that there is some minute level of division of labor. What is division of labor? These cells have distributed their work among themselves. So that means one group of cell performs one function, the other group of cell performs another function, but with little or no almost nil cooperation or coordination among them. Okay, so such a level of organization is called as cellular grade of organization. So here you find, say for example, in porifera, there are different types of cells. It's a aggregate type. So in case of porifera, you find a cell aggregate type of body plan. So it is just a aggregate of cells. See here, there is a choanoderm formed of choanocytes. There is a pinacoderm formed of pinacocytes. These are two layers of cells, that's all. And they are sandwiched by mesenchymal area. Okay, that's formed of some glycoprotein components. And then there are also few cells. And that means there is no much specialization, no complexity. It is a simple cluster of cells. But it is different from colonial forms because here they are going to form a whole organism, and each group of cell has its own function. For example, choanocytes, these choanocytes that are present, they are basically involved in nutrition. They are also involved in creating water current in the spongiocele because they are flagellated. So they are part of a water canal system that is present in porifera. Whereas these cells, the pinacocytes that are present in the pinacoderm or that form the pinacoderm, these are involved in forming the body covering. So their function is different. And then you can also see the fibroblasts. So these fibroblasts are again third type of cells. What is their function? They secrete spicules. Okay, and there is a porocyte. So these porocytes are nothing but the cells that form the ostium or ostia, characteristic feature of sponge, through which actually the external water enters into the spongiocele, which helps in all the physiological activities. So that means there are different types of cells and each type of cell has its own function. So there is some level of division of labor, but they won't be aggregated to form a coordinating function like in case of tissue. So they have not evolved to become tissue, but independent cells performing independent work. Okay, but all the different work done by these different cells as a whole will help in the animal survival. So that is the cellular grade of organization, and distribution of work is done between pinacocyte, choanocyte, porocyte and sclerocytes or scleroblast. Okay, example you find in case of porifera. Next one is a tissue grade of organization. Now what is a tissue? A tissue is a group of cells. Okay, is it just any group of cell? No, a group of cell where they have a common origin. They must be originated from a common cell, and then they must have similar structure, okay, and then similar function. Because they have similar structure, obviously they will be carrying out similar function with coordination. So such a group of cell with a common origin, similar structure and similar function is called as tissue. And this kind of aggregate of cell, okay, that has a distribution of work or similar work and similar structure is seen for the first time in case of coelenterate or in case of cnidarians. Okay, And this grade of organization of the body is called as tissue grade of organization. Not all the cells show tissue formation, okay, in case of Coelenterata. It is best studied in case of nerve net. Nerve net, it is a simple form of nervous system that is developed for the first time again in Coelenterata, and here these nerve cells coordinate with each other. That's very important in a tissue. So they coordinate with each other and they help in passing the signals. So cluster of cells coordinating with each other, okay, thus giving a first idea of tissue is seen in case of Coelenterata, okay. So here the grade of organization is called as tissue grade of organization. Okay, you find this in case of Cnidarians or in Coelenterata as well as in case of Ctenophora. The next level, see, there was a single cell protoplasmic grade, and then few cells aggregated, and then it became the cellular grade of organization. And these grouped cells had actually a common origin, similar structure, and performed similar function in group, okay, with the coordination. So that becomes the tissue. And the next level of evolution is all these different kinds of tissues, they aggregated to form a particular organ. Okay, like for example, in our case, we have stomach. Stomach is an organ. Skin is an organ. Take an example of stomach. This is an organ and it is formed of different types of tissues. It is formed of epithelial tissue, it is formed of muscle tissue. So stomach has muscle, okay, then there is a connective tissue, then there are blood vessels which carry blood to it, then there is a nerve fiber. So all these different tissues, they form the organ called stomach. Similarly, during the evolution of organisms, so after Coelenterata, in case of Platyhelminthes, that's the next higher group of metazoa, these aggregation of tissues, okay, they developed into definite organs. So this grade of organization is called as tissue grade of organization. That means they have special organs formed of many tissues to perform particular function. So in protoplasmic grade, there was only one cell and the protoplasm was actually performing the function. Cellular grade, there are distribution of cells. Individual cells were performing the function. In tissue grade, groups were performing the function. And now in tissue organ grade of organization, definite organs are present and they are performing the function. So tissue grade of organization is seen in case of Platyhelminthes. The next one is organ system grade. After organ, it is the organ system grade. Okay, organ system grade of organization, generally triploblastic animals with the exception of few show organ system grade of organization. And just remember, all the tissues, okay, what we have in our body, in our organs and in our organ systems are derived from three germ layers. They are ectoderm, the middle mesoderm and the inner endoderm. So all different types of tissue are derived from these three germ layers. Okay, and these three different germ layers have given rise to different types of tissues, and those tissues have grouped together to form an organ. That means even an organ is derived from three germ layers. In other words, the whole organism's body is derived from three germ layers. Okay, and here we have a picture of, okay, the organ grade of organization, organ system grade of organization rather. So there are atoms. Atoms form molecules, and the molecules then form the tissues, or okay, different cells. See here, there is a cell. Here we are talking about smooth muscle cell. Then number of such muscle cells will form a tissue. And then next what happens? You see here, there is this muscle tissue, then there is a epithelial tissue in the stomach. Okay, there are also blood capillaries carrying the blood. There are nerve fibers that are carrying the impulses. Okay, and then this stomach together with other such organs like intestine, small intestine, large intestine, esophagus, pharynx, everything forms one system. That is called organ system. That means all these different organs are modified to perform one common function. What is the function of stomach, intestine and esophagus, pharynx, etc.? Digestion. So we call it as digestive system. Similarly, we have nostril, we have pharynx again, okay, then we have trachea, bronchi, okay, lungs. There are different organs and they perform one common function. What is that? It is respiration. In a protoplasmic grade of organization, the whole one single cell was performing respiration. There were no specialized parts. Even in porifera, respiration was taking place by simple diffusion. But in higher metazoans, these different organs have grouped together, just like how the tissue was formed. Now the organs have grouped together and they perform one common function. Okay, and depending upon the function they perform, we have different organ systems like digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system, skeletal system, nervous system, etc., etc. Okay, so that means each one of these are specialized for performing a specific function. Yes, so here you can see a few more, okay, on the slide here. There are sensory tissues, there are endocrine organs, okay. They all help each other, they are all coordinate with each other and they are responsible for the formation of the whole body of an organism. So this grade of organization, you take a whole body of a human itself. So we are individuals, we are formed of different organ systems. Each organ system is formed of organ like digestive system. So animal, human, okay, then there is a organ system, that is a digestive system. Each digestive system has one stomach, that's an organ. Stomach is formed of tissues, okay, like epithelial tissue. These epithelial tissues are formed of cells called as epithelium. That means the whole metazoan body shows all these different kind of organization. But the ultimate level of organization in human is organ system grade of organization. And this system grade of organization is seen in almost all higher metazoans. So that's all for today's class. Let's see how much you have understood. So the first question is, a single cell is responsible for all the metabolic activities in, okay, which of the following? So protoplasmic grade of organization, cellular grade of organization, tissue grade of organization, or tissue organ grade of organization. There is a single cell and this single cell is responsible for all the metabolic activities or physiological activities of an organism. Hope you got the answer, and the right answer is A, protoplasmic grade of organization. The second question is, cellular level of organization is, just recall what we have discussed in our session. So division of labor among the organelles of a single cell, division of labor among different cells, division of labor among tissues. Individual cell is capable of carrying all the metabolic activities of the cell. Which of these is the correct answer for the question cellular level of organization is? And the answer is B. Division of labor among different cells. Pinacoderm, okay, pinacocytes, choanoderm, then porocytes, and then there are fibroblasts. So they have different work to do. So this is seen in case of porifera. Level of organization found in porifera is, okay, protoplasmic grade, cellular grade, tissue grade, tissue organ grade. It must be very easy for you. I am sure all of you have the answer, that is cellular grade of organization. Fourth question is, tissue grade of organization is found in Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida. Okay, is it found in Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes or Aschelminthes or Annelida? And the correct answer is A. Cnidaria, also known as Coelenterata, have tissue grade of organization. The last one, level of organization found in triploblastic individuals. Tissue grade, tissue organ grade, organ system grade, both B and C. A bit complex anyway. Tissue grade, tissue organ grade, organ system grade, both B and C. Your answer must be D. So, level of organization found in triploblast, 3 germ layers, organ and organ system grade, both. Summary of the session are: so metazoan show following level of organization: cellular grade of organization in porifera, tissue grade in Cnidaria, tissue organ grade in Platyhelminthes, organ system grade in higher invertebrates and vertebrates. And these are the references for today's session. Thank you.